No matter how the cachet of the WNBA elevates, remember, it could have been even better. You messed it up. You messed it.
Caitlin Clark might have just received an offer from Europe that could change the WNBA forever. I'm never going to financially recover from this. Right now, the WNBA is scrambling as the chances of Caitlin Clark moving to Europe keep growing. Maybe this is something they should have thought about earlier, like treating their biggest star with a little more respect. Because if Caitlin leaves, it's going to leave a massive dent in the WNBA. Seriously, without CC, who's going to keep watching?
I know she will do her best. I know she's talented, but she's not strong enough and she doesn't have enough experience right now to compete at this level.
The people Caitlin had to deal with all season kept saying the same thing. You have no experience. You won't be able to handle the WNBA. And yet, look at what happened. Caitlin Clark stormed through the league, shattered records like there was no tomorrow, and left the Women's National Basketball Association completely shaken.
It's nonsense about things that Caitlin was doing wrong when, in my personal opinion, she was doing nothing but going out there and playing great basketball every night and ignoring the hate that was coming to her from all sides, not only from fans.
These analysts left Caitlin with no choice. The constant fouling, the clear animosity toward her. At some point, enough is enough. Now it might be time for a fresh start in a league that actually acknowledges its star players and doesn't allow them to be constantly targeted.
And look at what the NBA became. Even when Jordan was ascending and the league clearly saw that that was the dude, and Nike was marketing the living hell out of Michael Jordan. I want to be like Mike. It was still Bird and Magic.
Caitlin Clark has reportedly received a truly mind-blowing contract offer to play in Europe, and it seems like she might be ready to take that leap. But there's more to this story. Caitlin has had enough of how she's been treated in the Women's National Basketball Association, and after dealing with countless frustrations, she may finally be making the decision to walk away from the league. The ripple effects of her departure could send shockwaves through the WNBA, shaking it right down to its core. Despite all the attention, the admiration from fans, and her undeniable impact on the game, Caitlin Clark has still faced major challenges in the league. From a lack of proper support on the court to the league's inability to truly protect its star players, the issues have continued to pile up. Now those challenges may have led to what could become one of the most shocking career decisions we've seen. Caitlin Clark choosing to leave the WNBA behind and head to Europe. Let's be honest, the WNBA hasn't always treated Caitlin Clark with the level of respect and care a star of her caliber deserves. Whether it's the lack of protection on the court, the constant targeting from opposing players, or the apparent indifference from the league itself, it's clear that Clark may have reached her limit. Time and time again, we've watched defenders get away with excessive physicality when guarding Clark, often crossing the line with aggressive and sometimes even dangerous play. At times, it almost feels like the league has allowed these tactics to go completely unchecked.
You weren't making a basketball argument. You weren't making a basketball argument.
We're not saying we were making a basketball argument.
No, Andrea, I'm not going to let you do that.
Go ahead,
Andrea, I'm not going to let you make it seem like Caitlin Clark was averaging 5 points a game. At the time, she was still averaging 16 points a game, which was more than a lot of other guards that made the team. So don't do that. Don't make it seem like she was averaging 5 points and this was like a handout.
No, it wasn't a handout.
Look at her numbers. Look at her numbers comparable to the other guards that were on the team. That's all I'm saying.
You could even argue that the Women's National Basketball Association has allowed this behavior to continue because they know Caitlin Clark's presence on the court draws attention and boosts viewership. After all, a little drama gets people talking. But for Caitlin, it's gone too far. The lack of protection has reached a point where it's simply no longer worth it. Caitlin has been vocal about her frustrations with how she's been treated, both by opposing players and by the league itself. And fans have noticed too. Social media has been flooded with complaints from her supporters, calling for more protection, more fairness, and more respect for their favorite player. Yet despite the outcry, little to nothing has changed. The league's apparent indifference has left Clark feeling unsupported, almost as if they didn't care enough to make the necessary adjustments.
Many people are watching women's basketball right now. It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize.
And now, after season of being unfairly targeted and mistreated, Caitlin Clark may finally be listening to her fans. She's had enough of the league's indifference and appears ready to take control of her career by leaving the Women's National Basketball Association behind. Clark is looking for a fresh chapter, one where her immense talent, dedication, and impact on the game are truly valued the way they should have been all along. Now, let's talk about the repercussions. The WNBA could be on the verge of a serious downturn, and it may all come down to the league failing to recognize just how crucial Caitlin Clark has been to its success. If Clark leaves, the WNBA is likely to feel an immediate hit in both viewership and revenue. There's really no need to sugarcoat it. Caitlin Clark has been a massive draw for the league. Whenever she stepped onto the court, people tuned in. Whether they were die-hard basketball fans or casual viewers, they were watching for one reason: Caitlin Clark.
The fact that she was getting all of that, yet all of these eyeballs were coming to the league because of her. The Indiana Fever was turning away games into home games.
Now that she's leaving, the Women's National Basketball Association faces the monumental challenge of filling that gap. Sure, there are other talented players in the league, like DJ Carton and Angel Reese, but let's be real, they don't carry the same star power or magnetic appeal that Clark brought to the game. And that's not to discredit their abilities. Both are phenomenal athletes. But Caitlin Clark operated on a completely different level. She wasn't just a player, she was a movement. People weren't just drawn to the WNBA. They were drawn to her. Her fearless shooting, ability to take over games, and relentless competitive spirit made her a must-watch athlete. Fans didn't tune in to WNBA games for the league. They tuned in to watch Caitlin Clark play. With her departure, the WNBA is only beginning to realize the full depth of the Caitlin Clark effect. Losing Clark means losing millions in revenue, from ticket sales, merchandise, TV deals, to sponsorships. It's all going to take a massive hit. And the worst part? It was entirely preventable. The league had every opportunity to make Caitlin feel valued, to protect her on the court, and to offer the support she deserved as the face of the league. But they...
Draft day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%. Between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%. Between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%. What Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days.
They let these issues fester, and now they're going to pay the price. Caitlin's departure marks a turning point, one that could have devastating consequences for the future of the Women's National Basketball Association. The league is about to find out just how much it has lost. So, what exactly has Caitlin Clark been offered in Europe? The numbers being reported are staggering, enough to make anyone stop in their tracks. Multiple sources say the contract she's been offered far exceeds anything the WNBA has ever put on the table. In the EuroLeague, where players are treated like royalty, Caitlin is being presented with a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Not only will she earn significantly more, but she'll also benefit from playing fewer games, giving her more time to rest, recover, and perform at her absolute peak. At that point, the decision to move overseas practically made itself.
There could be a team overseas who would love to snatch Caitlin Clark away from us and give her a crazy offer. I mean, Ice Cube was about to give her $5 million to play in less than 10 games in the big...
Europe isn't just offering Caitlin Clark a contract. They're offering her the chance to become the face of an entire league. Picture this. Caitlin walking onto the court, the lights dim, and thousands of fans erupt into deafening cheers. The energy in those packed arenas is electric, every roar from the crowd reverberating through the stadium as she steps up for a deep three. But this time, it's different. These fans aren't just there to watch a basketball game. They're there for her. The EuroLeague knows this and is fully prepared to make her the centerpiece of their brand, treating her like the global superstar she is. It's not just about giving Caitlin a new stage to dominate. It's about positioning her as the biggest basketball star in the world. Packed arenas full of devoted fans who respect and celebrate every move she makes make it clear. Caitlin Clark is about to step into a new realm of greatness. This is her moment, and Europe is ready to make sure she shines brighter than ever. But Caitlin isn't the only one making major moves. Other WNBA players are beginning to follow a similar path, seeking better opportunities overseas. Kelsey Mitchell and Alyssa Smith, for example, have reportedly decided to spend their offseason playing in China while Caitlin heads to Europe. This trend is rapidly growing among WNBA players as they realize that playing internationally not only offers significantly higher pay, but also provides better overall treatment. The WNBA's pay structure simply cannot compete with what international leagues are offering, both in terms of salary and the quality of the experience.
How's it feel? Do you care?
Players like WNBA basketball player Kelsey Mitchell and Alyssa Smith are seeing the clear advantages of fewer games, more rest, and higher earnings, making the decision to play internationally almost a no-brainer. When you compare the schedules, compensation, and player care offered overseas, it's easy to see why more athletes are choosing this path. Amid all this, Jason Whitlock has suggested that Caitlin should star in an unrivaled league, a league where the very best compete against each other during the WNBA offseason. In this setup, players like Kelsey Mitchell and Alyssa Smith wouldn't need to travel abroad to earn their wages. Instead, they could make their money right here in America, in a league packed with talent. This unrivaled league concept would give players better opportunities, allowing them to fully capitalize on the rising talent in women's basketball. There are some incredible prospects coming up, but currently, they are going to receive the pay they deserve. Instead, they often have to generate income through sponsorships. This new league idea adds an entirely different dimension to the conversation. Back to Caitlin Clark and the WNBA, this shift should serve as a massive wake-up call. The league is at serious risk of losing not just Caitlin, but other top players as well. If the WNBA doesn't step up and reevaluate how it compensates and treats its athletes, it could face a mass exodus of talent. The reality is clear. Players no longer have to settle for less when international leagues are willing to offer so much more. If the WNBA wants to avoid an even larger talent drain in the future, it needs to rethink its priorities, and fast.
All of this comes together, and you need a star, and she is the star.
The Women's National Basketball Association is undoubtedly going to regret this decision, and it's bound to hit their bottom line hard. The Caitlin Clark effect was very real. She was single-handedly boosting the league's profile, attracting new fans, and generating excitement like no other player in recent memory. Clark was becoming a household name, bringing an unmatched level of attention and energy that the WNBA hadn't seen in years. Now, with her departure, the league faces the harsh reality that it's no longer the top destination for the world's best talent. Other leagues are stepping up, offering better contracts, superior treatment, and fewer games, making them far more attractive options. With Caitlin Clark gone, the WNBA's claim as the premier league in women's basketball is now on shaky ground. They're going to have to work incredibly hard to recover from this loss.